China just built the iPhone killer. Actually, they built 15 of them. And Apple has no answer. You're about to see the most advanced smartphone technology ever created. Periscope cameras that zoom further than your eyes can see. Batteries that charge faster than you can make coffee. Displays that bend reality. This isn't coming soon. This is in stores right now. And it starts with a device that's rewriting every rule you thought you knew. Xiaomi 17 Pro. This is where the assault begins. 6.73 inches of pure AMOLED brilliance. 120 Hz refresh rate that makes every swipe feel like silk. But here's what hits you first. The display brightness. 2000 nits peak. You can read this screen in direct sunlight like it's nothing. Like the sun doesn't even exist. Now, look at the camera system. 50 megapixel main sensor. Light Fusion 800 image processor. Night mode that turns darkness into daylight. You're shooting in conditions that would make other phones give up. This phone, it's just getting started. The build quality tells you everything. Gorilla Glass Victus, 2 on front and back. Aluminum frame that feels like it was carved from a single block. IP68 water resistance. This thing survives what kills other phones. But the real magic? The Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. 8 GB of RAM working in perfect harmony. Apps launch instantly. Games run without a hiccup. Multitasking like you've got a computer in your pocket. And the battery. 5,000 milliamp hours, all-day power. 120 watt hypercharge that fills this thing to full in 18 minutes. 18 minutes. Think about that. But this is just the opening move. Xiaomi 17. The Xiaomi 17 takes everything you just saw and makes it accessible to everyone. 6.67-inch display. Same AMOLED technology. Same 120 Hz smoothness. The colors pop off the screen. Vibrant. Alive. You're not just looking at content. You're experiencing it. The camera setup here is surgical. 50 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization. Every shot is steady. Every photo is sharp. 8 megapixel ultra-wide that captures the whole scene. 2 megapixel macro for those tiny details that matter. You've got versatility that covers every situation. Then there's the design language. Glass back that catches light in ways that make you stop and stare. The way it curves into your hand. Ergonomic. Natural. Like it was designed specifically for your grip. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 powering the whole operation. 6 GB of RAM keeping everything fluid. Storage options up to 256 GB. You're not running out of space. Not today. Not tomorrow. 5,000 milliamp hour battery again. But here's the kicker. 67 watt fast charging. You're going from 0 to 50% in 15 minutes flat. Dead phone in the morning? Not anymore. The speakers hit different too. Dual stereo setup tuned by Harman Kardon. Audio that actually fills a room. Bass you can feel. Clarity that makes you forget you're listening to phone speakers. But the real innovation is just starting to reveal itself. Xiaomi 15 Ultra. The Xiaomi 15 Ultra is where photography becomes art. Leica. That name means something. German optics on a smartphone. 1-inch type sensor. 50.3 megapixels. Variable aperture from f1.4 to f4.0. You're controlling depth of field like a cinema camera. The telephoto system uses floating lens design. 3.2 times optical zoom. Hybrid zoom to 100 times. You're capturing details the human eye can't see. Ultra-wide hits 50 megapixels, 122-degree field of view. Architecture shots that look impossibly perfect. Periscope telephoto. 5 times optical zoom. Handheld shots at distances that should need a tripod. The image stays locked. Leica color science in every pixel. Authentic mode for that film look. Vibrant mode that punches without looking fake. This is computational photography that respects the art. Titanium frame. Ceramic back. 16 GB of RAM. This phone never slows down. But the display technology is about to take a radical turn. Oppo Find X9 Pro. The Oppo Find X9 Pro is a camera beast disguised as a smartphone. 200-megapixel telephoto camera, the largest telephoto sensor ever put in a phone. 13.2 times lossless zoom. 120 times digital zoom. You're capturing details at distances that should require dedicated camera equipment. Hasselblad collaboration across the entire camera system. T-star coating on every lens. Anti-reflective technology that kills flare. Shooting into the sun. The image stays clean. 50-megapixel main camera with 1.28-inch Sony LYT-828 sensor. Triple exposure HDR. Low light performance that defies physics. 50-megapixel ultra-wide that doubles as a macro lens. 3 professional-grade sensors working as one. 4K video at 120 frames per second in Dolby Vision HDR. LOG recording with ACES certification for professional color grading. This phone shoots cinema-quality footage. 6.78-inch LTPO AMOLED display. 120 Hz refresh. 3600 nits peak brightness. Ultra-thin bezels. High-frequency PWM dimming for eye protection. But here's what changes everything. 7,500 mAh battery. The largest battery in any flagship phone. Silicon carbon technology that packs more energy into less space. The phone stays under 8 mm thin despite the massive capacity. 80-watt wired charging, 50-watt wireless, 10-watt reverse charging. Battery life that lasts days, not hours, days. MediaTek Dimensity 9500 processor. First phone in the world to launch with this chip. 16 GB of RAM. 512 GB of storage. Performance that never bottlenecks. Gorilla Glass Victus. 2 front and back. IP68 and IP69 water resistance. High pressure water jets. Steam cleaning. This phone survives conditions that would destroy others. But the camera systems are about to get even more specialized. Vivo X300 Pro. The Vivo X300 Pro is a photography studio in your hand. Zeiss optics, T-star coating on every lens, anti-reflective technology that kills flare and ghosting. You're shooting into the sun, and the image stays clean. The main sensor is massive, 1-inch type, Sony LYT-900, 50 megapixels, f1.57 aperture. Light gathering capability that turns night into day. Low light performance that defies physics. Gimbal stabilization on the main camera. Not digital, not optical. Actual 3-axis gimbal movement. You're walking, running, moving fast. The footage stays locked, like you're on a Hollywood Steadicam rig. Telephoto system with Zeiss APO certification. 70mm equivalent. 3 times optical zoom with 0 chromatic aberration. Portrait shots with that creamy professional bokeh. Subject separation that looks like it came from a full-frame camera. Ultra-wide with 115-degree field of view. 50 megapixel resolution. Macro mode that focuses down to 2.5 centimeters. Tiny details become huge. 3 imaging chip processing everything in real time. Zeiss natural color calibration. What you see is what you get. No oversaturation, no artificial punch, just accurate, beautiful color. 6.78-inch AMOLED display. 120 Hz, E7 luminescent material. 5,000 nits peak brightness. You can see this screen anywhere. 5,400 mAh battery. 80-watt wired charging. 50-watt wireless. Power for days. But artificial intelligence is about to change the entire user experience. Honor Magic 8 Pro. The Honor Magic 8 Pro reads your mind. Eye tracking sensors built into the display. Infrared cameras watching where you look. The interface responds to your gaze. You look at a notification. It expands. You look at an app. It highlights. No touching, just looking. Gesture control through radar sensors. Wave your hand. Swipe through menus. Answer calls without contact. Your phone is wet. Your hands are dirty. Doesn't matter. You're still in control. The AI learning engine studies how you use your phone. Predicts what you need before you need it. Morning alarm goes off. Coffee brewing time displayed. Calendar synced. Weather loaded. News briefed. All before you're fully awake. Magic OS. 8.0 runs on top of everything. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 with dedicated neural processing unit, 18 billion operations per second, machine learning happening in real time, 6.81-inch LTPO OLED, variable refresh from 1 Hz to 120 Hz, battery optimization that's intelligent, screen dims when you're not looking, brightens when you are. Falcon camera system with computational photography on another level, 50 megapixel main, AI scene detection across over 1,000 scenarios, food, pets, landscapes, architecture, portraits. Each one optimized instantly. 5,600 mAh silicon carbon battery, 100 watt supercharge, 45 minutes to full, all-day power without anxiety. But the zoom capabilities are about to reach insane distances. Vivo X200 Ultra, X300 Ultra. The Vivo X200 Ultra/X300 Ultra sees what you can't. Periscope telephoto lens with 200mm equivalent focal length. 10 times optical zoom, no digital trickery, pure glass and physics. You're standing on the ground, shooting details on a 10th floor balcony. Sharp, clear, impossible. The main sensor pushes boundaries further. 200 megapixel resolution, quad pixel binning that combines 4 pixels into one monster pixel. 50 megapixel final images with insane dynamic range and low light performance. Zeiss T-Star coating across all 4 lenses. 50 megapixel ultra-wide. 50 megapixel portrait telephoto at 85mm equivalent. Then that beast periscope. Every lens is flagship grade. V3 Plus imaging chip handles the computational load. Real-time HDR processing. Night mode that stacks multiple exposures instantly. Astrophotography mode that captures the Milky Way like you're using a telescope. Gimbal stabilization on both telephoto lenses. Shooting handheld at 10 times zoom. Rock steady. Professional level stability in your pocket. 6.78-inch LTPO AMOLED. 2800 nits peak brightness. Dolby Vision. HDR 10+. Viewing your photos on a display worthy of them. Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. 12 gigabytes of RAM. 5,500 mAh battery. 120 watt flash charge. 13 minutes to full charge. 13 minutes. But there's one phone that brings technology other manufacturers can't even access. Huawei Pura 80 Ultra. The Huawei Pura 80 Ultra works where other phones die. Satellite communication built directly into the hardware. No cell towers needed. You're in the middle of nowhere. Mountains, desert, ocean. You can still send messages, still make calls. Emergency services at your fingertips, even when civilization is 100 miles away. Kunlun glass on the front. Not Gorilla Glass. Not any standard protection. This is basalt fiber reinforced glass. 10 times more drop resistant than regular smartphone glass. You drop this phone, it survives. Again and again. X-Mage camera system designed entirely in-house. Variable aperture main camera, f1.4 to f4.0. 1-inch sensor. Physical aperture blades like a real camera lens. Bokeh, that's optically generated, not faked by software. Ultra lighting, macro telephoto. 3.5 times optical zoom that focuses down to 5 centimeters. Macro photography at telephoto distances. A combination that shouldn't exist, but does. Ultra-wide with 130-degree field of view. 40 megapixel resolution. Distortion correction so advanced the edges look as sharp as the center. 6.8-inch LTPO OLED. 1 Hz to 120 Hz adaptive refresh. Color accuracy calibrated to professional photography standards. Kirin 9000S processor. Huawei's own silicon. 5 nanometer architecture. Performance that competes with anything Qualcomm makes. 5,000 mAh battery. 88 watt supercharge. 50 watt wireless. Reverse wireless charging to power your other devices. But raw performance is about to hit a completely different level. Oneplus 13. The Oneplus 13 is a performance monster that refuses to slow down. Snapdragon 8 Gen 4 processor. The fastest mobile chip ever made. 3.46 GHz clock speed. You're launching apps before you finish tapping the icon. 24 gigabytes of RAM. Not 12. Not 16. 24. Multitasking that keeps 50 apps in memory. Switch between them instantly. No reloading. No delays. Just pure speed. Vapor chamber cooling system, covering 40% of the phone's internal space. Graphene sheets. Copper heat pipes. Active thermal management that keeps temperatures low during intense gaming sessions. You're playing for hours. The phone stays cool. Performance never throttles. 6.82-inch Fluid AMOLED display. 144 Hz refresh rate, not 120. 144. Gaming feels like a high-end PC monitor. Response time measured in milliseconds. Touch sampling at 720 Hz. Every input registers instantly. Hasselblad camera system with flagship sensors across the board. 50-megapixel main with Sony LYT-808 sensor. Optical image stabilization. 48-megapixel ultra-wide. 64-megapixel periscope telephoto with 3x optical zoom. UFS 4.0 storage. Read speeds. Over 4,000 megabytes per second. Loading games. Transferring files. Editing video. Everything happens faster than you thought possible. 5,400 mAh battery. 100-watt Super VOOC charging. 27 minutes to full. Battery anxiety erased. But battery technology itself is about to be revolutionized. Oppo Find X8 Ultra. The Oppo Find X8 Ultra eliminates the concept of battery anxiety forever. Silicon carbon battery technology. 5,500 mAh capacity in a body thinner than traditional batteries. Higher energy density, longer lifespan, more power in less space. 240-watt Super VOOC charging. Plug it in. 9 minutes later, you're at full charge. 9 minutes. Less time than making breakfast. Dead phone to 100% before you finish your coffee. But here's what matters more. Battery degradation protection. After 1,600 charge cycles, this battery still holds 80% capacity. 4 years of daily charging. The battery stays healthy. Wireless charging at 50-watt speeds. Magnetic alignment like MagSafe but faster. 30 minutes wireless to full charge. Reverse wireless charging to power other devices at 10 watts. Thermal management during charging keeps temperatures low. No heat damage, no battery stress. Just fast power delivery with intelligent safety systems. 6.82-inch LTPO AMOLED. Adaptive refresh from 1 Hz to 120 Hz. Display that adjusts to save power when you don't need speed. Hasselblad camera system. With 1-inch main sensor. 50-megapixel resolution. Variable aperture. Dual telephoto setup with 3x and 6x optical zoom. Ultra-wide with freeform lens that eliminates edge distortion. Snapdragon 8 Gen 4. 16 gigabytes of RAM. UFS 4.0 storage, up to 1 terabyte. But durability engineering is about to reach extreme levels. Honor Magic 7 Pro. The Honor Magic 7 Pro is built to survive what destroys other phones. Ultra Bounce display technology. Drop this phone face down from 6 feet. The screen survives. Not sometimes. Every time. Anti-fall airbag structure around the display absorbs impact. Shock dispersion that protects the glass. Basalt fiber frame construction. Volcanic rock fibers woven into composite material. Lighter than aluminum. Stronger than steel. Tougher than titanium. This frame doesn't bend, doesn't crack, doesn't fail. IP69 rating, not 68, 69. High-pressure water jets, steam cleaning, extreme dust, total submersion. This phone works in conditions that would kill anything else. Second-generation Kunlun glass on the front. Enhanced basalt fiber content. 10 times drop resistance of standard glass. Scratch resistance that survives keys and coins without a mark. 6.80-inch LTPO OLED display. 120 Hz. Brightness that peaks at 5,000 nits. Outdoor visibility that makes sunlight irrelevant. Falcon camera system with AI computational photography. 50-megapixel main with variable aperture. Telephoto with optical image stabilization. Ultra-wide with macro capabilities down to 2.5 centimeters. Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. 12 gigabytes of RAM, 5,600 mAh silicon carbon battery, 100-watt wired charging, 80-watt wireless. But gaming-specific hardware is about to change mobile gaming forever. ZTE Nubia Z80 Ultra. The ZTE Nubia Z80 Ultra turns your phone into a handheld gaming console. Physical shoulder triggers built into the frame. Capacitive buttons with 500 Hz touch sampling. Hair trigger response. You're playing first-person shooters with console-level control. No more awkward claw grip. No more on-screen buttons blocking your view. Active cooling fan inside the body. Actual spinning blades, moving air. 20,000 RPM. Heat extraction that keeps the processor running at maximum clock speeds for hours. No thermal throttling. No performance drops. Just sustained power. 6.8-inch AMOLED display with 144 Hz refresh rate. 1 millisecond response time. Every frame renders instantly. Competitive gaming advantage built into the hardware. 9-layer cooling system beyond the fan. Vapor chamber. Graphene sheets. Copper heat pipes. Thermal gel. Every component working together to dissipate heat. Dedicated gaming chip alongside the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Frame rate stabilization. Touch optimization. Network prioritization. Gaming mode that shuts down background processes and dedicates everything to performance. Pressure-sensitive display zones. Press harder for different actions. Analog control in a touch interface. Dual stereo speakers with DTS Ultra X sound. Spatial audio that tells you where enemies are coming from. Competitive audio advantage. 5,000 mAh battery. 120-watt charging. Gaming sessions that last all day. But flagship experiences at impossible prices are about to shake the entire market. OnePlus 13R. The OnePlus 13R delivers flagship technology at a price that makes no sense. Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor. Last year's flagship chip. Still faster than 90% of phones on the market today. You're getting premium performance without the premium tax. 6.78-inch LTPO AMOLED display. 120 Hz adaptive refresh. Pro XDR brightness up to 4,500 nits. HDR10 Plus certification. Display quality that belongs on phones twice the price. 50-megapixel main camera with Sony IMX890 sensor. Optical image stabilization. 8-megapixel ultra-wide. 2-megapixel macro. Camera system that captures professional-grade photos. 12 gigabytes of RAM. 256 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage. Multitasking and speed that never bottlenecks. 5,500 mAh battery. 100-watt Super VOOC charging, 23 minutes to full charge. All-day power with rapid refueling. Alert slider for instant profile switching. Physical button that moves between ring, vibrate, and silent. No diving into menus. Just flip the switch. Gorilla Glass Victus protection. Front and back. Metal frame. thisquest.org. IP65. Water and dust resistance. Premium build quality at mid-range pricing. Oxygen OS. 14 based on Android. 14. Clean interface. Minimal bloatware. Software experience that respects your time, but the youth market is being targeted with surgical precision. Realme GT. Realme 15 series. The Realme GT/Realme 15 series speaks the language of a generation that lives online. 6.7-inch AMOLED display with 120 Hz refresh. Colors calibrated for social media. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Content that looks exactly how creators intended. Vibrant, punchy, attention-grabbing. 32-megapixel front camera with AI beautification that doesn't look fake. Skin smoothing, eye enhancement, background blur, selfies that get engagement. Video calls that make you look professional. Rear camera system optimized for content creation. 50-megapixel main with electronic stabilization. Ultra-steady video mode for walking shots. Time-lapse. Slow motion at 240 frames per second. Night mode for low-light club scenes. Portrait mode with studio lighting effects. Rim light, spotlight, stage light. Professional photography looks without professional equipment. Snapdragon 7 Plus Gen 3 processor. 8 gigabytes of RAM with virtual RAM expansion up to 16. Smooth performance for editing apps, rendering filters, uploading content. 5,000 mAh battery, 67-watt fast charging. Content creation all day without stopping. Design language that stands out. Gradient finishes, matte textures, colors that pop on camera when you're filming your phone for unboxing videos. Dual stereo speakers with Dolby Atmos. Audio quality for consuming content, music, podcasts, streaming. But the final phone brings feature density that seems physically impossible. Poco Xiaomi 15T Pro. The Poco/Xiaomi 15T Pro is the final nail in the coffin. Flagship processor. Dimensity 9300. 4nm architecture. Performance that rivals Snapdragon's best. You're getting top-tier speed without top-tier pricing. 6.7-inch AMOLED display. 144Hz refresh rate. 12-bit color depth. 5000 nits peak brightness. Display technology reserved for ultra-premium phones. Here at a fraction of the cost. 50-megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization. 50-megapixel telephoto with 2x optical zoom. 12-megapixel ultra-wide. 3 flagship-grade sensors working together. Professional photography capability in every lighting condition. 12 gigabytes of RAM. 512 gigabytes of UFS 4.0 storage. Storage speeds and capacity that exceeds what most people have in their laptops. 5,500 mAh battery. 120-watt hypercharge. 19 minutes to full charge. Power delivery that defies logic. Stereo speakers tuned by Harman Kardon. High-res audio certification. Sound quality that makes cheap earbuds obsolete. Vapor chamber cooling. Graphite layers. Thermal management that keeps sustained performance high during gaming and intensive tasks. Gorilla Glass Victus. 2. IP68. Water resistance. NFC. Infrared blaster. Headphone jack. Every feature you could want. Nothing left out. This is the complete package. Premium materials. Flagship specifications. Advanced camera systems. Lightning fast charging. All in one device. 15 phones. 15 different approaches to smartphone perfection.